What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Full Nerd Academia podcast. I'm your host, Master D.Maito, joined today, as ever, with my co-host, Mr. BankaiMerc.
Arigato. That's all I can think of.
All right, welcome back, everybody. So this week got a little bit of a lighter show, obviously because of SDCC last week. There's a whole lot of news that came out of there, so it's a little bit lighter this week. But we'll go ahead and get diving right into it. First things first, man. I mean, how are you doing today?
I can't complain. A little sore yesterday. Decided to go out there play a little basketball. Didn't stretch, so a little pain, but I'll be all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, man. This past week I've been having some back problems, and oddly enough, the day I go to do some moving, helping my sister move and stuff, back pain kind of alleviates. So that kind of worked out in my favor because otherwise, if I would have been moving up and down the stairs, I probably would have been in a lot more pain right now. So, but aside from that, man, I'm good. Well, why don't we kick it right off, man? First of all, class is now in session, folks. So we are gonna dive right into some of our breaking news, and we will start it off with toys this week. Okay, so this is from 5K Studios, or not from 5K Studios, but this is news from 5K Studios. They showed off some test shots of the Fury Samurai Force Musket Man, I believe it's called Musket Man, and the Master, which for those of you not paying attention is the not sorry, it's the not Master Splinter and not Donatello. So these, I mean, they look pretty cool. Honestly, Splinter looks a lot skinnier than what I remember seeing in the initial prototype. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe he just looked a lot more bulked out because of his accessories and stuff. But I mean, this is him stripped down bare. All you see is like the bandages on his arms and his abdomen there. But with his accessories, I mean, you got a couple sets of hands here. Looks like he's got some either Eskrima sticks or possibly nunchaku. He's got a scroll. He's got his walking stick there. And then these are the things that kind of help bulk him out, at least it looked like. So this is some sort of like shoulder piece or shoulder guard. This is his the conical hat. There's like there's a much bigger scroll, and it looks like some stuff that he also carries on him. I can't wait for this. I believe I already have it on pre-order. I think they are going to be closing pre-order soon, and then they are supposed to be coming out sometime in October. Then we got the not Donatello, aka Musket Man here. So he comes with a grip of stuff, and it's not just they're not just showing off his stuff here. It's also some of the exclusive, like there was a pack that you could get for your not Leonardo turtle that already came out. It's just some extra accessories for him as well. So we've got the Musket Man here, and this is him, his stripped down bare, like not TMNT form. You got the purple bandages. You've got him with the like goggle specs on. His various hands that he's going to be coming with, his other weapons. We've got his staff, his musket, because he is the Musket Man. This looks like, I can't remember. I want to say it was like an extendable like tech hand that he could put on the end of his staff, and then you've got the like Naginata like blade that will also go at the end of that. Got like a radar dish, got some shuriken, some looks like ninja bombs.
Mm-hmm.
There's this was part of the accessory pack, if I'm not mistaken. You get the baby turtles. One is lying flat on his belly, prone there. That's really cute. You got one who's starting to crawl, one sitting up, and then one standing full up. My guess is maybe you're supposed to, like, you could kind of have the different stages of the turtles, just like a baby, one starting to walk, and then the other one starting to like climb up on his 2 feet, and then eventually you get to, you know, the big boys, right? As far as like the other heads and stuff, though, we've got the hooded head for him. We've got a samurai head for him as well, and then looks like just some like a grimacing head, and just like a plain head without the like goggles and specs on. This is just a size comparison with him and the Not Leonardo. So I've already got this, you know, the Not Leonardo. I can't remember what his designation was in this line, but well, other than Spring, his name was Spring, and then like the Musket Man is Autumn, if I'm not mistaken. But you can see there's at least a head's height above the Not Leonardo, so it's kind of making him makes it seem to be that it's like the tallest turtle possibly. We'll see, I guess, when the other turtles come out. But moving on from that, we've got Marvel Legends. Their SDCC exclusive is now live on HasbroPulse.com for pre-order. It's the Merc with the Mouth, Deadpool, and his Hydra friends, Hydra Agent Bob 2-pack. This is a really cool looking release. I already got this one on pre-order too, so this one's really cool because Deadpool comes with a whole bunch of stuff, and not to mention these guys are both on newer bucks. They're definitely got updated bodies. So like Deadpool now is on the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man body, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I remember hearing that Hydra Agent Bob is on a Sunfire body, but both of them have the pinless elbows and knees. So we've got Deadpool here. You can already kind of see some of the like acrobatic poses you can put him in. There he is again with his his signature size in his hand. We got Bob with one of his accessories. Looks like the briefcase here is holding a banana. Possibly the Wand of Watum. I don't know. It looks like there's 2 of them though, so that's kind of weird. And then I'm assuming a bomb or of some sort that says Bob on it. Here they both are with all the array of weapons that they both come with. Deadpool kind of is looking menacing in the back, like he's getting ready to do something to Bob there. So then we've got Deadpool and what his accessories are. He's got a secondary head with the mask pulled up above the nose. You can see his ugly mug underneath. You got a staff with some purple taping on the end. Those of you who are Marvel Legends fans will recognize that this is the same staff that came with the movie Shang-Chi. We've also got his signature size here with some red wraps. His dual pistols comes with this nifty Fortnite looking rocket launcher with a like a punching bag on the end, and then a laser sword, a blue laser sword, not at all related to Star Wars or a lightsaber at all. And then he comes with so many accessories they had to put it on a separate page. So we've got, aside from the 2 hands that he comes with, the 2 fists, he's also going to come with 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 pairs of hands. I'm assuming this one looks a bit like some sort of gripping hand. These are going to be your trigger fingers. These are the finger guns. And you got the hitchhiker thumb with a peace sign. And he also comes with a pair of nunchucks. Those, I believe, came with the original comic Shang-Chi, but with obviously orange wrapping now. And then you got his short katanas, but with some blue wrap. So not pointing too much at what may have come before this, but I want to say that he seems to be inspired by a certain group of brothers in his weapon choices. Then we got Hydra Agent Bob here. He comes with his briefcase, which we saw him looking at the contents of. Comes with a couple of submachine guns here, a couple of fists, his trigger finger hands, and then of course we had the light blue, or the light side, light blue laser sword. Now we've got the dark side red laser sword here, and got a nice package shot there. I'm really excited about this just because I don't have a Deadpool in my collection, and to get him on that updated buck is going to be really nice. And to pose him up with all those weapons and stuff, it's going to be pretty cool. You got any thoughts on this, man?
Deadpool's my guy. So seeing Deadpool, especially with the hitchhiker thumb and the peace sign, I can definitely see him doing that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's just making me excited for Deadpool 3, but that'll be another talk about later.
Definitely, yeah. Once more news comes out on that, which hopefully we do get some soon, we'll see. Now we're moving on to McFarlane's DC DC Multiverse rather. This is a BBTS exclusive, so Big Bad Toy Store online exclusive, recolored Rebirth Martian Manhunter. So there's some really long name, and honestly, I don't know what it is, but I know it's something like red and black variant Martian Manhunter, or white and black, something along those lines. So it's basically just a repaint of something we've already gotten. It's Martian Manhunter in grayscale with all black on his costume, with the red accents and a little bit of white on the shoulders there, as you can see. It's cool, not something that I need, but it's definitely a cool take on it, on Martian Manhunter. Again, this is a BBTS online exclusive, so you can go over there now. It's on pre-order. Should still be available, I would imagine. And then we've got some more DC Multiverse. We've got Captain Atom. Captain Atom, this is a gold label Walmart exclusive. I've been having trouble trying to find this online. And so far, I don't think it's in any stores near me. But this is basically just a post telling us that it's in stores now. Really nice looking. I really want to get this so he can be added to my Justice League shelf. Comes with these, nifty like little power effects. Although I'm not really sure why they're clear. I would have gone with like blue, kind of like his powers, much to the same as it is here in this in the card that comes with it. But it's really cool. The swirly twirly plastic on this, really kind of evokes that Dill Steel casing that he's wrapped in. Moving forward, we've got another Walmart exclusive for the DCM Gold label. This is Vampire Superman from DC versus Vampires. That was kind of a cool run in the comics. This is a cool looking Superman. I don't really go to outside of the main comic book stuff. The only other DCM stuff that I've been collecting is like the metal stuff. So this would probably look cool with the metal stuff, but just in general, like this isn't anything I'm going to be grabbing. But again, this is in stores now. Really, really cool and kind of weird to see Superman all zombified / vampired out. It looks like he's even got like the pointy ears and stuff. So if the DC versus vampires thing was your jam, this is going to be right up your alley. Now this is just some pretty shots of the Sinestro Corps Batman. This is currently out now, or from what I hear, it's been being seen in Target, because I want to say this was a Target exclusive. However, I have heard that some people are getting street dated on it. So you might be able to, pick it up. We'll see. This isn't anything I'm gonna get. I love Batman, but I didn't necessarily like him in the Sinestro Corps uniform. Plus, I have a lot of Batmans as it is. I literally just got another one the other day that I opened up. So this doesn't really have a place on my shelf, but I'm sure there are quite a lot of other people who would love having this. So try to find it at your local Target if you can, and hopefully they don't street date you on it. Yeah, let's keep going. This was something cool that this is like late news from SDCC. This is a Transformers Stranger Things crossover. So you got the Surfer Boy pizza van that they were driving around in season 4 as a Transformer. So that's kind of cool. If you're a fan of Transformers and a fan of Stranger Things, this would be a cool little piece to add to your collection. This is kind of cool looking, kind of weird, funky looking, but see, it looks pretty cool like this in the vehicle mode, but like the robot mode, I'm not sure if this is an actual Transformers character that was just morphed into this particular van. Not really a Transformers fan, but all in all, it looks pretty cool. Any thoughts?
He does look familiar, Transformer wise. I'm not a Transformer person either, but it's just the facial area with the goggle, or I'm gonna call it goggles, but like the glasses. I just
Yeah.
can't think of which Transformer it is that I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure either. It does look a little familiar. Maybe the only one that's sticking out to me would be Ironhide, but I don't think that's it at all. I'm sure
Yeah,
that if
yeah,
anybody's watching and they want to let us know who that is, feel free to leave it in the comments down below or join us live and tell us, what this is. But yeah, I don't know who this is, but
yeah. It just looks familiar. That's all.
I just like that it's a VW bus that this that this dude was driving around in Stranger Things, and it morphs into a robot. It's pretty neat. So he's fighting Decepticons, and you can come and bring you your pizza right after. But that's it for toy news today. Moving on, we're gonna dive right into some comics news. What oh geez.
So many you don't know which one to talk about.
What's that?
I said so many you don't know which one to talk about.
I mean, I've got my I've got there's quite a few that are really cool, kind of coming out. Some of the stuff was also like late SDCC type news, but like for the most part, though, some of these are a little bit newer. We've got a little bit of everything, honestly. So, but obviously, it's really just kind of it's a little bit from DC, a little bit from Marvel, and then a little something outside of the box, So, give me a second here. I can get us back on track here with this, and okay. So this right here, this is a new character coming to Marvel. Give me 1 second.
Let me guess. This
Sorry,
has
guys.
to be Galactus' son.
No, I don't think so.
He looks just like Galactus.
Give me 1 second here. Okay, so I guess in recent comics there was a it's called Avengers Beyond, and this comes from Avengers Beyond #5. This character's name is Cal Hora. Apparently, in this run of comics, the Beyonder basically comes to the Avengers for salvation, and from what I'm understanding, this character is as powerful, if not more powerful, than Beyonder, and he's looking to take the Beyonder's place in the Marvel cosmic hierarchy, basically. So, if you don't know anything about the Beyonder, basically the Beyonder's the reason behind Secret Wars, which is where they took from both from the the very first one in the 80s, and even like the newer one, the remake in was it 2015. More or less, the Beyonder was, or at least the power of the Beyonder was the reason why Secret Wars went down. And it's basically Doctor Doom wanted the power of the Beyonder for himself, and then he took it and created like Battle World. So reality warping, reality altering like power. This character is more powerful than him, which is pretty wild. He looks pretty cool, but you're right. He does look a little bit like Galactus. You could definitely see it with like the coloration for one, his blue and purple outfit, and then like even his horns kind of evoke that like the Galactus like satellite dish helmet. What are you thinking on this guy, dude?
I think he looks badass. Makes me want to read it. He that's why my first thought was definitely Galactus. Like that's why I said that. He looks just like Galactus slash. Mm, I was gonna say Kang, but no, to me it's just Galactus. Like he looks like he just belongs with Galactus,
Yeah, dude.
like a smaller version.
Yeah, I'm curious to see just who and what he is, and how he's going to kind of shape the Marvel universe going forward, or like what everything's going to look like going forward with him, like in play.
hmm That's one ugly Stark armor.
Really, you don't like that one? I
No,
like it a bit. It
I
was
hate the old school Iron Man armor. To me, that's what it reminds me of the old school Iron Man. I never
really.
big. I like the newer. I like the newer versions of Iron Man better.
Are you saying that because of the bands here and then like the bigger chunky parts right here?
Yeah, to me, he doesn't belong like Batman. He doesn't. Well, Batman belongs in something a little bit more bigger, but Stark, no, he belongs in sleek new form. That's just my opinion.
Nah, I get it. This I want to say this is the armor that was designed by Alex Ross. Because for a while Alex Ross was doing the art for Iron Man, and it was a really good looking suit. I actually have that in figure form, and it's just so dope. It's just so good looking. But all that aside, I mean, like, I'm curious to see what's going on with this cat Calhora. But I mean, I guess we'll see going forward. But moving on, we're gonna jump into something that you and I kind of talked about earlier in the week. Oh, actually, no, I lied. These are out of order. This is actually from a newer book being released. This is Batman going full cosmic horror. This is called Batman City of Madness. This is a new DC Black Label series. It's being written by Christian Ward, and this is basically. It looks so cool the way that everything's drawn. It's almost like the movie that just came out recently on Max.
Oh, it's Batman.
Doom Came Knocking, or Doom Came
Yes.
to Gotham City. That's what it evokes, that sort of
Doom that came to Gotham.
Doom Came to Gotham. Thank you. And the story I'm reading on this, it says Batman City of Madness is a pseudo sequel to a popular Dark Knight story. Trying to think. Oh, wait. What is the
At first, yeah, when I saw it at first, it reminded me of honestly, this one reminded me of Batman versus Robin when he got captured by the Talons. And like
right,
when you
yeah.
start looking into like all the other stuff, like and then it shows like the different parts of like how he was like drugged and stuff. That, yeah. So then when you keep looking more into it, it shows more of like, all right, yeah, it shows like how this came along.
Okay. Well, funny you should say that. So this actually involves the Court of Owls. This is it's a pseudo sequel to Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on Serious Earth. You ever read that book?
Mm-mm.
That one it's insane. So that one's by Grant Morrison and has art by Dave McKean. The art style in that is insane. It very much is like this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just there's a very deep and dark, like menacing look to it. I love that book so much, and it's basically just a deep dive into like Arkham Asylum as basically a living, breathing character in Batman's mythos. So this is saying that's like a pseudo sequel to it. I'm kind of interested and intrigued to kind of see what this is all about. But this is from the writer himself. It says, thrilled also to be featuring Batman's best modern villains, the Court of Owls. Court of Owls is one of my favorite Batman stories, and without them, this book wouldn't exist. Excited to be playing in their sandbox. So it's very interesting. I definitely want to take a look at it because I love this art style. And then you're mixing in like eldritch horror, which I really like in general. So like I'm down for it, man.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the Court of Owls story as well. Especially that Batman versus Robin movie. That was good too.
Oh yeah, that was so good. That was a really good flick. Um but moving on from Batman, so this was something that you and I, this is what I was talking about earlier. This is something that you and I kind of talked about a little bit earlier this week. Um this is Cap getting a metal arm. Uh so we're looking at Uncanny Avengers. This is going to be tying into the overarching Fall of X storyline in Marvel currently. Um, as you can kind of see here, there's Rogue standing next to Cap, and Cap has got basically the Winter Soldier's arm. And this is Steve Rogers. This isn't Bucky Cap. So this is Steve Rogers with a bionic arm. And I remember you when you said something about this. I said that this is a possible future. I was wrong. This is going to be something that's like very much happening in the present of Marvel right now. So because it all ties into the Fall of X, it's not clear why yet that Cap has this bionic arm, but it has something to do with what's going on currently. Basically, the story behind the Uncanny Avengers right now is that because more or less the X-Men are gone at this very moment. Spoilers, by the way, for Fall of X. If you want to like catch up on that, everything happened in this year's issue of the X or the Hellfire Gala for X-Men. So, but basically, Cap is pulling together a group of Avengers and mutants, which is the Uncanny Avengers, in order to basically help save the world. Hopefully, stop something from happening. Hopefully, try to bring back the X-Men. But this is just Cap and Rogue, and then we get some more of the team here. One second. Let's see if I can move this up. No? Okay. Well, we've got Rogue here, and then we've also got, the Merc with the Mouth, Deadpool. Down here, we've got some Quicksilver, and then if you're not aware of who this is somebody by the name of Captain Krakoa. This was a story that came from last year, but spoilers: Captain Krakoa is Scott Summers. He at one point was very publicly executed. So he took on the mantle of somebody named Captain Krakoa. This is a Krakoan battle suit, which was something that was made by Forge. Something that was made by Forge for any of those mutants who don't have combative powers. So people like Leech. That's the main one that kind of comes to mind right now. It's like Leech and a couple others who don't have like powers that can actually be used to like fight. This would kind of give like up the ante for them and kind of give them the edge in a fight, but to kind of conceal his identity for the time being, Scott was using that suit, and I guess he's donning it again. Now, this is neither Marvel or DC related, but this is something that's kind of cool, also very nerd centric. Were you a fan of Godzilla versus Kong?
Nope.
You didn't like it at all?
Nope. I
Did
watched
you see
it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I watched it, but I'm like, because this is the second time they did this. This is not the first. This is the second.
True.
And didn't like neither one of them. I didn't like the original. Damn sure don't like the new one.
Mm.
I think it's because I don't care for Godzilla, and I really don't care for King Kong.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Godzilla fan. I do like it. I like it enough to like catch certain things for it. So like, and mostly because like I like a lot of the older Godzilla movies for some weird reason.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of like them. I just remember always watching them like as a kid. So I kind of I like the older Godzilla stuff. The newer stuff lately has been kind of wishy washy. Like the newer Godzilla movie, parts of it were cool, but we only got to see Godzilla like a very tiny amount in the whole movie. King of Monsters, obviously he was in it a little bit more, and then Godzilla versus Kong, we got a lot more of them. So I actually liked the movie for all the the monster fights. Aside from that, though, like none of the like story or plot made any sense. But at that point, I think they were just like, we know what you're coming here to see. Like, let's just give you what you want. So this is a prequel comic to the new movie that's going to be coming out soon. The movie is called Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, where I guess Kong and Godzilla are going to have to team up to face some other kaiju monster that everybody is suspecting is like an older, like Kong type creature. So this is going to be a like a prequel comic. So it seems like it's going to be filling in the gaps between Godzilla versus Kong and Godzilla X Kong. And then also kind of to tie in, we've got the Monsterverse Declassified. It's going to be a book that gives you some information on some of the other monsters within the Monsterverse. From there, we're going to move on to some more Marvel comic news. So this is ripped right from the pages of the newer, believe it's Amazing Spider-Man. Basically, Dr. Octavius is, we learn that Green Goblin's origin gets changed up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it was always thought that the Goblin Serum made Norman Osborn evil, but as it turns out, all it did was bring out the innate evilness within him. So basically, in this panel, what happens is Octavius shoots Norman full of Goblin Serum. He's trying to make him turn into the Green Goblin again, because at this point in the comics, Norman is actually no longer a villain. He's good. He's a hero called the Golden Goblin, and he actually works with Spider-Man. So Octavius thinks if he shoots him full of this stuff, he's just going to turn into the evil Green Goblin again. As it turns out, it doesn't matter, because Norman still has plenty of this stuff like coursing through his veins. So it's not that the Green Goblin serum turns him evil. It's that aside from giving him the enhanced strength and durability and like speed and all that stuff, all the powers that come with being Green Goblin, it just brings out more of what's already within you. So he was already, basically his evilness from before was he was already evil, and then the Goblin serum just brought it out of him more. But since being like cleansed of all his evil, the Goblin serum has no effect on him being evil, because he's no longer evil. I thought that was pretty interesting. What are your thoughts on that, man?
Definitely is. I like the. I just don't like the fat Octavius.
Are you talking about like how he looks in this?
Yeah, I like the suit. The suit looks cool. I hate the goggles part, but yeah, no, this seems like it's a good story, and how it brings out the origin, the how it changed the origin of Goblin.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely interesting. It's interesting to learn that it wasn't the serum itself that like made him evil.
Mm-hmm.
And like for the longest time, that's exactly what,
Basically, how it wasn't. Was it Sam? I'm about to botch his name.
And Sam Raimi's
Yes.
Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's definitely what it seemed like in there. And then, not to mention, this was a plot point in No Way Home, was that the only way to cure him of, the Goblin was to like basically neutralize the Goblin serum in his blood, because that's what was making him, crazy and evil. But like this basically just kind of flies in the face of that and is saying like, yeah, no, that's not the reason. The serum wasn't why he was evil. It just
He had it
enhanced what
within
was
himself
already
already.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which makes sense, because I mean, like, you think about it, Norman Osborn was just like a ruthless CEO and scientist. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah, he already had the bad plots anyway, so
right,
all it did was just enhance his evilness. That's all.
right. Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm digging it. I'm really interested. I haven't read too much of this newer run with him as a hero, but this
Yeah,
kind of gets me interested in like reading it more. So
yeah. Because the only time I knew he was a hero is when he played Iron Patriot.
well, and then even then he wasn't a hero. He was just like, he was playing the part of a hero,
Yeah.
since they basically banished the Avengers.
I didn't get the comic. Can we please go back? Like that metal arm for. I just realized something else too, by the way. But that metal arm, freaking Captain America, just bothers me. I just want to go back and talk about that. Please, can we go back? I was biting my tongue. All right, go back to it, please.
Hang on.
Like bro, scroll it. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but the hand kind of looks like he's gonna have claws. I just realized that. It looks like it. Probably not true, but from the dots on his knuckles, it looked like he's gonna have claws, like
I
the
think
adamantium
this.
claws.
No, I think that's just a. I think that's just like showing the like light bouncing off of it. I don't think that's actual like because as you can see, they're not like the same size.
Mm-hmm.
One's larger and then it kind of gets smaller. I
Okay.
think it's just the way that his like the light's supposed to be bouncing off of the metal arm. I don't think that he's going to get any claws of any kind. He could because we don't. I mean, I haven't read this, and I mean because it's not out yet. But like,
All right. I know something else too, which makes
it
it even
would be
funnier.
so weird if that was the case. What's up?
Look at Deadpool looking like J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh shoot! Yeah, I didn't even realize that.
I kept looking. I'm like, is this man? Is that Deadpool? Is he? Does
What?
he have the
No,
stash?
wait, not like J. Jonah Jameson. You know who he looks like?
Who?
Stanley.
You're right. It is Stan Lee.
It's the
Okay, you're
glasses
definitely right.
and
And the
yeah.
mustache. I'm looking. I'm like, yo, who the hell is that? Is that Deadpool? I couldn't really tell at first. Oh man, that's hilarious. All right, so now to the arm. The arm really bothers me. If they wanted to do that, they should have just put Bucky right back there. Bucky is
Well,
as Captain America. I'm about to say Captain Soldier.
the so I don't know if that story has concluded, but there is another comic that was like started running either late last year or earlier this year. But basically, Bucky's like no longer a hero,
Hmm.
and him and Steve were like at odds with one another. Um, I don't know if this arm might be a result of that, or if that story. I would have to find out, but I don't know if that story has since concluded. But I know that him and like Bucky and Steve were at odds with one another, and like Bucky's no longer a hero. So like this could be the result of that. I could be wrong. Maybe this was also something that uh, maybe kind of came from the end of that one. If it is in fact ended, and maybe he took Bucky's arm, maybe put him back on ice, and so something probably happened to his arm that has to tie in with the fall of X. And so since he already had it, maybe that's the only thing I can think of. I'm not entirely sure, but
I like it.
once this comes out, I definitely get what you're saying because like, why would we put a metal arm on Captain America when we already had that with Bucky and stuff? But like, I guess we'll have to read it within the context of the comic book, man, to see exactly like why he has this.
Yeah, the
Um,
metal arm. I'm definitely gonna look it up to read it or see if there's anything that tied into that. But man, it just bothers me. Like I don't see Steve Rogers with a metal arm. Like it doesn't fit Steve Rogers.
True, true. I'm looking here at the rest of this. Um, like we've got this might be the team that we've got going forward. Like we already saw that Quicksilver is going to be on the team, and so is Rogue and Deadpool. But maybe Psylocke is also going to be on the team, and then Penance. If I'm not mistaken, this is Monet's. This is Monet. What is her name?
Isn't that's the quote unquote black Captain Marvel, right? No,
No, no, no, no, no.
no.
You're thinking of Monica Rambeau. No, that's
Yes,
not her.
that's what I'm thinking of.
Um, her name is like Monet Saint something. Saint Croix. There we go. It's Monet Saint Croix. She was typically going by M in the comic books for a while, and I think maybe she has a new. She
Yeah,
might have a new.
that's her new name. They changed it
Okay,
from M to Penance.
huh. I wonder why she took up the name Penance then, because Penance reminds me of
Four Horsemen. No,
no
no.
Speedball,
Yes.
Speedball from the New Warriors when he got what do you call it after Stanford, Connecticut. After that happened in Civil
Mm,
War.
that's funny.
What? Oh, just because you're close by.
No, that's where I live.
Say what?
That's where I live.
Oh, you live in Stanford.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see. I didn't remember. I knew you lived in Connecticut. I don't, for whatever reason, didn't remember that you stayed in Stanford. But
Yep. So to all my Connecticutianers, that's where I am.
Connecticutioners, is that what you guys are called?
Yep, that's what we're called, Connecticutianers. Funny
Interesting.
name.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I'm interested to see how this goes though with the uncanny Avengers, because like um I want to see what the like what Avengers team members are going to be in this besides Captain America. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because right now from that picture we see a bunch of X-Men, like X-Men
Right.
related characters.
Right. Um but other than that, man, I mean that's it for the we're done with comics and toy news today. We can move right into some of the movie
Yeah,
and TV news, and then we'll
before
get right into our reviews. What's up?
I'll say before we do that, like before we jump into the movie and TV show, I just wanted to throw out. So I finally had a chance to read. I guess I should have waited for reviews, but I thought I just want to throw this out there now. I finally read the one shot for Minato, and it's a beautiful story. So the story basically goes. It shows how well, first off, it shows his relationship between him and Kushina, and then it's really the story of how the Rasengan actually came alive, and beautifully written. I'm going to say that now. It's only 57 pages. I thought it was supposed to be 99, but it's only 57 pages. And if you know Minato, you know his jutsu names, horrible but funny, but horrible. So the name he originally had, and I had it pulled up, was like this is what I was trying to tell you. It was Ice Pop inspired Nimbus Jiraiya Twin World Sphere. That's what it's called.
That long ass name, man.
Yeah, and then Jiraiya says, "And what poor taste in naming, and it's stupid long."
And it's stupid long. It is mad long.
Oh man, but it Kushina, she walked him into like the Uzumaki building after she was rescued. Like it also showed like her tail beast form. Not I want to say form, but like how remember how like Naruto like when Jiraiya was trying Naruto
Hmm.
and you see that first form of the tail beast
Yeah.
where like he gets hurt by it because like the cloak is taken over. So
Right.
you see her with the same thing, and it's him and all right. So like she completely disobeys her. Like she's supposed to stay within the Uzumaki seal. So the Uzumaki seal, like that whole circle, was the seal for her for to keep her in place. So when she leaves, the tail beast starts to take over, which is pretty dope. I didn't know. So like it shows that she leaves. She's talking to Miyato because she was upset at him because they were supposed to train together to do like this like sealing jutsus.
Hmm.
Uh, she leaves the circle. She goes to Dimitri to apologize to him about being upset, like because she like got an attitude with him. Then the form takes over, and he's trying to seal it. So he almost died trying to protect her, and then says, "I love you," and then goes, and then bam, goes away, which is pretty cool too. And that's when it shows like how he got the name of the Rasengan, which is pretty dope.
Okay. That
Yeah.
sounds
So
cool, man. I
I'm
would
sorry
love to
for
see that
spoiling.
animated.
Hell yeah! Like I
I'd
want to
love to see
like
that
you know what I'm
animated.
saying. Like so many people wants like the pre Naruto. Um,
Like the story before Naruto.
yeah. So but the story that they want is starting with Minato,
Okay.
which
Yeah, I
I'll
would
be
love to
happy
see more.
because
Yeah, I would love to
yeah,
see more background of that, especially like getting to see him and Kushina like
the beginning
interacting
point.
before.
Mm-hmm. Now the dope thing about it too is that you also get to see like Mike Guy when he was younger. Of course, you see Kakashi because that's his student. But so they said this story is supposed to be like when he because he died at 24. So this is the Second World War. This is the second Shinobi War. Um, it is the second Shinobi War. So he had to be like 18, 19, 20. I want to say 19.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a pretty cool story. Like if you have a chance, definitely read it. It starts off with a banger, and then it ends with a banger. So it's good.
Yeah, I have to check it out. Where can people go to find that if they wanted to read it themselves?
So I had to dig. Like I really did some digging, and it's a place called Manga Place, Manga Plus, excuse me. I can drop it, and I don't know if I put it into the comments of the show, but I'm gonna drop it in the comments anyway, just to see. It is not working. There we go. So I dropped it there. So whoever wants to read it, it's right there. Definitely good, especially if you love Naruto. It's like Minato is my favorite character. Like I said, in our first episode.
Nice, nice. Yeah, well, I'll definitely have to check it out because like I want to read that, and again, I would love to see that animated. Like maybe they
Hmm.
make it like an OVA, like a one shot or something. That would
Hmm.
be really cool. Um, but moving on, man, we've got some movie and TV news. We'll start. We'll start here. So this was something that we didn't talk about last weekend for the Comic Con news, but Gen V had a trailer that dropped. Have you seen the trailer for this?
No, I haven't seen it yet. Actually, no,
It's
I have. I have. I started. All right. So the funny thing is, they were showing that trailer while I was watching the events. But I was like, oh, this is good. Click. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I actually wanted to watch the trailer.
yeah, dude. It's so basically this is a spin-off from The Boys. It seems like it's from the way it looks like Sky High, but like set in the Boys universe. It's basically like it's a high school full of powered metas or like meta people. Um, and basically it looks like some shenanigans ensues more or less. Uh, it's all the same kind of like gore and violence from the boys, but set in like a high school setting. Um, it's really interesting. I would be pretty interested to see it. Apparently, this is based off of um, a story that came from the comic books directly. Uh, called let's see, it's based on the boys comic book story arc. We gotta go now. So this apparently is supposed to be set happening at the same time as season 4 of the boys. I personally am not caught up on the boys. Have you ever watched any of the boys?
Honestly, I have not yet. I definitely after I finish watching Invincible, I'm gonna start watching The Boys. I've got like
Yeah,
2 episodes left of Invincible.
I've only seen. I've got a visitor, and he's getting
Oh,
ready to walk across the screen. Hi
he
there.
snuck
How
his
did
way
you
in.
get? Yeah, how did you get into this room? Get down, Bubba. Folks, this is Small Mike. This is my cat. He misses dad. He's got some separation anxiety, but this is my little guy. So say hello to all the people.
I thought he was
Yes.
about to wave at first too.
Now go on, get out of here. Don't make a noise. Don't make any he's gonna start messing with stuff. Watch. Um but yeah, so anyways, so I saw all of the first season of The Boys. I started on the second season, and I kind of fell off from there, but um I've been meaning to just like get back into it because I've heard nothing but good things that it's an insane show. Definitely the first season of it was really insane, but like I've heard that they've only like upped the ante from there. And this show seems to be like it's very much in the same vein as The Boys. Um, ultra violent, kind of gory, and ultimately kind of has like something to say at the end of it. You know what I mean? So this comes out on Prime Video September 29th. If you haven't seen the trailer, go and check it out. If it's something that you want to see, like I would definitely give it a watch. Um, moving forward, buddy, that's working right now, dude. Come on. uh, little little video game news. Gear Us from he got announced in Mortal Kombat 1, he was in the last Mortal Kombat game. He was in MK11. So he's making a return in the trailer that he came out in. It looked like he works with Fire Lord Liu Kang, helping to protect the time stream. He looks pretty much the same as he did in MK11, at least from what I remember. Okay, hang on one second, folks. Get down. Come on. He looks pretty much the same as he did in MK11. But his power set and his moves look really sick, especially with like the new mechanics that they have coming into this game. I'm interested to see more of him, see like what the storyline and the plot of this game is. But they also, in that trailer, they showed some Fire Lord Liu Kang, or Fire God Liu Kang's powers. Man, you'll have to see this because it's pretty insane.
Yeah,
I know that you're not an MK fan, but like seeing this stuff, you would be like, "Yo."
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna watch. It's funny that like so many, I don't say so many, but like it seemed like a lot of video games are doing a lot of time stream protecting. Shout out to Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1 and 2. I definitely still play 2 with our buddy Wolf, who's our third member of the Three Musketeers. Hopefully we'll see him soon. But I love the time stream protection. It's pretty funny to see and hear about. But I'm sorry, I had to just mention that.
I kind of touching on that a little bit. I think with video games, comic books, and movies nowadays, they all seem to be touching on like
Multiverse and time
multiverse, and like and that's something that's been in comics and novels and like I mean just in media for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it's like hitting games and like movies now, that like they're trying to push it out to the masses, saying like, hey, this is something that like goes on, and or whatever, like whatever, wherever you land on the spectrum of like ideologies and beliefs or whatever like that, that's something that is definitely ever present in our media, as far as like multiverses and the idea of a multiverse in general, where there's either alternate dimensions or alternate worlds or whatever. That seems to be something that's being pushed a lot more in like movies and video games lately. So moving on, we've got some Sony news. So I actually just saw this right before we went live. Apparently with the writer's strike going on right now, or sorry, the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes going on right now, Sony has pushed back the 3 titles mainly. It's Kraven the Hunter. So this was scheduled to be released October of this year. It's now gotten pushed back to August of next year. Like August, like so a full year away that we're not going to be seeing this movie. And the reasoning behind it is sound, but it's also like, why so long? They basically they said that they want to push it back because of the strikes going on right now. They aren't going to be able to promote this movie the way that they want to. There's not going to be any sort of like media for it or any sort of like heavy marketing for it. So they're pulling it now because they want to give it its due and give it like the marketing it deserves, so that it can be as big of an opening as they want it to be. But a full year, man, like that is,
that's
at that point, I think that's like it's going to drop out of people's like people aren't going to be thinking about it. I mean, obviously, and if they start ramping it up, like going to it, like they will, but like this movie's already done and in the can. Like it's supposed to be out in like 2 months. That's crazy. A full year.
Not even. Oh wait, no, you're right. It is 2 months. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you on that because the only people who's going to be looking forward to it is like Spider-Man fans. Um,
True.
like to like a person who just like, oh, I just want to go watch because it seems like it's good. It's going to jump off their, it's going to completely jump off their radar. Like I was excited for this because I didn't really personally, I didn't care for Morbius. I thought Morbius was actually kind of trash. That's my opinion. Um,
I haven't even seen it, to be honest.
I forgot where I even saw it. I think I saw it on Amazon Prime.
I think, well, it's on Netflix right now, so
Yes, that's what I saw. I'm sorry, it's on Netflix. I saw it on. Oh, okay, cool. All right. But when I heard this one's coming out, I actually like Craven. I like Craven because of that hunting that he hunts his prey, and the way he does it is just so dope. So like even him in like the Spider-Man cartoons, so fire. Love watching Craven.
right. Yeah, no, I was always a big fan of Craven, and I mean the fact this is the other thing, right? We've got Craven coming in the Spider-Man 2 video game this year, right?
Hmm.
It would have been the perfect time to drop a Craven movie.
Yep. So you have an
Like
understanding of who Craven is. If you're not a Spider-Man
exactly.
fan, you have an understanding of like this would have been like perfect marketing. Like you're right. Like this is like the perfect marketing. You get to see who Craven is before. Actually, no, the game. I don't know. I forgot the exact day this movie's supposed to come out because I know the game comes out October
It
20th.
was this was supposed to come out October 3rd. And when was the game supposed to come out?
October 20th.
Okay, so
So yeah, it would have been the perfect setup for the game itself. So then you have an understanding who Craven is before you play Spider-Man 2. So
right.
yeah, I completely agree with you on that one.
And even if they pushed it to like the end of the year or beginning of next year, that would have made sense because then like people play the game, they get a sense of who Craven is in the game, and then they
Hmm.
could go see the movie like, because they'd be like, oh, this dude's got a movie, I want to go see it.
Heck yeah,
But like from that point, like they're gonna
that's
get him
it.
in the
Like
game by next year, they're gonna forget about it. And like
yeah,
obviously,
because
they'll have the marketing to like lead up to it, but the hype is gonna be like
it's gonna
completely
dumb
down.
down. Yeah, because like once you play the game, you beat the game. Most people don't return back to that game unless like they're fiends or like they come up with a DLC or something.
Right.
Because once I beat Spider-Man, once I beat the game, I never. By the way, I never buy. I'm a complete Spider-Man fan. So is he. Once I buy the game, I don't buy the digital. I always buy I buy the disc. That's the only time I buy the disc. So my PlayStation 5, I got the disc version of the PlayStation 5, which I'm happy about. Well, that was like for me, that was the only one I could get because the other one like completely sold out so fast. But I'm happy that I got the disc version completely for this, specifically for that purpose. Spider-Man game. So like once I beat the game goes right on the shelf next to the other Spider-Man games I have, and then they're done.
Right.
Unless they say, yeah, we got a DLC coming out. I'm like, all right, well, I'll play the DLC too.
Right. Then you pop in the DLC and stuff. But
Yeah,
either way, man, like the fact that they're gonna push it that far away is just like
it
it's
hurts my
mind
feelings.
boggling to me.
Hmm.
But you know, I can I don't know. I guess time will tell. We'll see if next year this movie ends up being more successful next year than it possibly would have been this year. Um Overall, the movie itself was just kind of like I wanted to go see it because I like Craven. The trailer didn't really get me that hyped for it, but I was just like, hey, you know what? I'll probably still go see it because it's Craven. But um, also too, like with that being said, Craven's not the only movie that got pushed back. Beyond the Spider Verse, from what I understand, it's been taken off of their calendar indefinitely, or like right like for the time being, like it's not even on their calendar for releases. It was originally supposed to be released next year at March, but now there's no date for it. So it's like you're
Yeah,
really not gonna put the like the hypest, like most anticipated sequel like ever. Like you're not even gonna give it a date anymore. Like that is insane.
yeah, I have to agree. It'd be funny though if I don't know what's going on at Marvel Studios, but Marvel Studios ends up picking it up from Fox.
No, they,
It's not possible, but
oh, it's not. Well, for one, it's not Fox, it's Sony.
I meant
But
Sony. I'm sorry. Yes.
No, there's no way, dude. All of this has to do with the strikes, um, because they can't do any marketing for it leading up to it. Because none of the actors are going to be able to go on any of the late night talk shows because those aren't a thing right now. They're not going to be able to do any press for it or anything like that. So none of that sort of marketing campaign that they would do for it, that like they can't do at all. So
No,
like,
I understand that.
but
No, I'm
like,
just saying like they ended up making like they finally bring Miles to
right.
like uh live action instead of it being animated. I didn't mean to do that because I was thinking comic book, but they finally bring it from live from animated to live action. I'm really praying they do that soon because I
There's
need a live action
there's
Miles.
some people there's I mean, well, you haven't seen Across the Spider-Verse yet, have you?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
So I'm not, so I don't want to spoil anything for you, but based on that movie, there's been a lot of
Speculation.
speculation that in this movie at the end he might end up joining the MCU.
Hmm.
Who knows? Honestly, at this point, the movie can kind of go anywhere because there's the last one ended with a cliffhanger, and obviously it was all because it was leading into the third, which is Beyond the Spider-Verse. But again, the fact that it's not even on their schedule right now, like, is that's mind-boggling to me because everybody was already like, March next year. What are you doing? You know, now it's just like we don't know when it's coming, and obviously
Hmm.
because of the strikes going on and everything, that makes things difficult. But like, again, you have to. I would imagine that like that's going to put a bad taste in people's mouth because then they're going to be like, this was something that was highly anticipated, and now all of a sudden it's just like dead in the water. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Um, and then the third film was Venom 3. Venom 3 got pushed back. It was, well, for one, it was starting production this year, but because the strikes started, that has since that got put on pause because can't be working during the strike and stuff. So um, I want to say that they gave it it's like mid-year 2024 release date. That's the date that they gave it, or that they gave it like tentatively, but given that the strikes are going on and stuff like that, chances are they probably won't be going into production until well after that's all done. So it
Hmm.
might get pushed back even further than that, probably into late 2024, maybe even 2025. So
Stinks. I'm tired. They gotta figure some stuff out because we need our superhero movies. Like it's nice that we still getting our superhero shows, but we need our superhero movies.
yeah, for sure. Um, oh, you know what? I had one more piece of news that I completely forgot about. So this was something that kind of came out of SDCC as well, like towards the end.
It's nothing.
So
It's
one
nothing
thing
new.
I didn't
Oh, there it is.
know. Oh,
No, it's there.
did we
We're good
lose
now.
Monica? You there?
Can you hear
Oh,
me?
okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
So this was like late SDCC news, but like basically, we found out that season 2 of X-Men 97 was already being worked on. Um, so we already kind of knew that season 1 was done and like basically just in post production, like getting ready to go. But to hear that they were working on a season 2 already is pretty awesome because um, we didn't know how much of this we were going to get, but the fact that we know now they were already working on a season 2 means that we're getting a lot more X-Men 97, which I'm pretty happy about.
Same. You don't understand. I used to love X-Men back then. That was like one of my favorite cartoons to watch outside of Ninja Turtles, but this was and Batman. But this was definitely like one of my favorite cartoons to watch when I was a kid.
Yeah, same dude. Like, I mean, I'm repping X-Men today all day, so like, I was, I was a huge fan of the show. I really want to see X-Men 97. I want to see them bring it back. We were looking at the toys last week, and the toys got me hyped for the show because like I like some of the redesigns. So uh I'm curious as to see how season 1 goes, and then hopefully we get to see season 2 at some point,
Yeah, I can't wait.
Uh, yeah, dude. That does it, I think, for the news. Do you want to jump into the reviews?
Let's do it.
All right, guys. Well, we're all done with the news for today. So we're gonna slide right into our TV reviews. Starting with Marvel Secret Invasion, which had its season finale this last week. Give me 1 second here. Let's get this graphic up on screen. Secret Invasion.
Man,
My cat is acting a fool right now.
yeah, I heard Small Mike meowing. I was like, damn, look at you, Small Mike. But before we even start, I don't say before we even start, like, man, that was explain my theory, not my theory, but you were right. I was wondering what happened to Rhodey. If you haven't seen it yet, I do apologize. I have to ruin it because it was
Well,
bothering me to see
I mean,
that
we've
Rhodey
we've
was
got
in
our
the show.
we've got our spoiler alert going right now, folks. So if you haven't seen, Secret Invasion, click off, come back after you've seen it. But yeah, go ahead, man. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. Because I should have said the same thing. But man, it really threw me off. I really thought Rhodey was dead. And I, it shocked me. Like I didn't expect him to still be alive. Like they just took that man and just threw his ass. They threw him in a pot. So I was like, dang. And then of course it's like what you said too about damn the guy what's the guy's name that we were hoping to turn into Red Hulk. He's right there on the screen too. I can't think of his name in the movie or the show, and it's gonna bother me. He was in
Talos or
no, not Talos. Yes, him.
no, dude, he's not the one who would turn into the
Oh, it's
Red
not
Hulk.
him. Okay, I thought it
No,
was him. So
no,
they were
no.
looking.
That's Secretary Ross is okay. So I know why. Okay, so his name in the show is Everett Ross. He's Agent Ross.
Mm-hmm.
The one who turns into the Red Hulk in the comics is General Thunderbolt Ross. So he's the one. He's the one who was hunting the Hulk in the Incredible Hulk movie, and then he
Okay.
was like the Secretary of Defense during Civil War. So he was the one, like in Infinity War. Remember, he was actually telling Rhodey what to do.
Mm-hmm.
He was like telling him, arrest
Ah,
this man and stuff.
yes,
He's the guy
yes.
who's supposed to turn into Red Hulk.
Okay.
That actor, unfortunately, William Hurt, he passed away not super long ago, but he has since been recast with Harrison Ford.
Oh,
So
that's funny.
yeah, it'd be really interesting to see Harrison Ford's face on a Hulk body. So I'd
Yeah,
be interested to see that.
I'm gonna go look it up. You already know they got some fan fictions out there,
Oh
or
yeah,
fan made
some
pictures.
fan art. Yeah, dude, of
Yeah, I
course.
can't wait to see that. But
But
okay, I thought it was supposed to be
all
him.
no, it's not him. But you never know. They could take take a different Ross and make him into Red Hulk. Who knows? But because it is the MCU and the MCU is going to do what it do. But so what we were just talking about here. Oh, first of all, so what we were just talking about here. At the end of the show, we see Rhodey getting rescued, and when he's getting rescued, he doesn't have he doesn't have his
His
leg braces, like
exosuit.
the exosuit stuff that was helping him walk at the end of like Civil War, and he's still in a hospital gown. So the theory, running around, or at least the way it's presented here, is that he was taken right after he got hurt in Civil War, while he was still in the hospital. Like he got taken and then replaced with a Skrull right after that, which is why he's in a hospital gown right now. And as soon as they take him out, like he almost falls over because
So that means.
he doesn't have his leg braces.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Okay, good.
And then at the same time, like Ross, who was also like we see at the very beginning of the show that he was a Skrull. Ross gets rescued and he sees Rhodey and he was just like, Rhodey, how long have you been here? Or Rhodey, they got you too. So that would kind of make it seem like he's been a Skrull for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that means Rhodey definitely missed um
Infinity War.
Infinity Wars. He missed Endgame. So that means he doesn't know Tony's dead.
Right. That means that he doesn't know that Tony's
Tony
dead.
or Steve. Or there's a new Captain America either.
Right. So yeah, right, because then he wasn't the one who spoke to Sam then.
Nope.
Like he wasn't the one that spoke to Sam when at the beginning of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, so he doesn't know anything that's going on. Hell, he doesn't even know that like the blip happened. He doesn't know that the blip happened. For him, it's probably been like 6-7 years because they had that 5-year time skip, and it's been at least a year or two since then. So like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
He's been under for that long.
Yeah, they had him tied up that long. That's really crazy.
And then like just to like help illustrate this right here, this is not this what they're basically saying here is that this isn't the real Rhodey, that this is a Skrull at Tony's funeral. And like that to me just like blows my mind, dude. Blows my mind.
Same.
But enough of the Rhodey stuff for now. I want to go back and just kind of talk about the episode in general. I thought it was cool, but the story, I still have a problem with the story of Secret Invasion, man. Like my biggest thing that I haven't liked about it is that Secret Invasion is supposed to be like a spy thriller, basically like who can you trust? You don't know who you can trust.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of the person that you think they are, the person that you think might not be the person that you think they are.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know who to trust. But the whole time throughout the show, aside from the very beginning, we never got any of that. We never got any of the like, oh, who's a Skrull, who's not, because they flat out showed us within the first couple of episodes who's a Skrull. You know what I mean? All the people who were like higher up in government and like news. They showed us all of their operatives, like all of that. So there was like no mystery whatsoever of like who can you trust, who can it in the comics. That's basically what it was. It was Nick Fury and like other Avengers, people that he was bringing in, trying to figure out who they could trust. And like throughout the show, we did not get that at all, dude. And like I really wanted to see that. That was not the show we got.
So yeah, like I agree. To me, it really hit like episode like they really bordered on episode 4, not episode 4. The last like 3 episodes, I want to say, when he found out like who was when he found out who was Skrulls is too. But that very last episode is like the very very last part of the episode. That's when we got like who you can trust, and then like Fury tried to talk to the president about it, but like yo, like relax, like the persona you're putting out there, you got people killing people because they don't know who's a Skrull and who's not a Skrull.
Are you talking about at the end of the episode?
Mm-hmm.
Of this last episode, right?
Yeah.
That was really, that one kind of had me thinking that the president might not. That had me thinking the president might not be who we think he is. So like,
I think the president's a Kree.
I was gonna say that same thing. Is like I think the president might end up being a Kree. Because throughout this whole thing, we didn't get any mention of any Kree, but yet that's who the Skrulls were like running from was the Kree. Like they showed us that in Captain Marvel's that they were running from the Kree because they were getting like hunted down and executed. only for us to like not get any of that. And then this whole thing culminates with the president. Excuse me, sir. The whole thing culminates with the president's, seeing for himself that Rhodey was a Skrull because, Nick Fury blasted his brains out and he turned into, a Skrull after that. And then basically the president just like gives a State of the Union, like, we need to hunt down all these Skrulls. Basically, like, he reminded me of like Senator Kelly from the X-Men, who's like calling for like the heads of all like mutants and stuff. And basically he was just like, spouting all this, like, these people are not human. They're not people. We need to kill them. We need to hunt them down, corner them, and get them off of our planet. And like so much so that Fury even goes to say, like, you just put a target on all those people's backs. Like I was, this hateful speech, type of thing. And so, like, to me, it's justified because of what he went through, but at the same time, it's to that extreme. Like, because then they start showing, like, just like these vigilantes going out and gunning people down, and you don't know, they won't know 100% whether they're Skrulls or not. It's suspected because, like, these are the people who were suspected of being Skrulls, but like, go and take those people out. What if they had already gotten like replaced, with their, like, the real person came in, like, came back, and then that Skrull decided to like fuck off, and then they would have shot like an innocent person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
So
that's
like,
literally like the last episode. Like, they just going around just shooting people now because they don't care. Like, they're trying to figure out who is a Skrull and not.
yeah, and then and that led me to believe, like, maybe this is a Kree, because then Fury and his wife Vara start talking about, oh, there's word that Krees want to have peace talks with the Skrulls. Where did this come from all of a sudden? We haven't heard anything about the Kree at all throughout this whole entire show. And then at the very end, you're going to give us that tagline talking about Krees want to have peace talks with Skrulls. And like, it just seems like it's going to be a whole setup for it's setting up season 2, but like, it's like a whole setup where it's just like,
Where we're leading to it with the movie.
Say what?
Like, no, I thought you were gonna say, like, where's it lead? Like, because like, each show leads up to something, right?
It's
Like,
supposed to, right?
yeah, it's supposed to. So like, the time variant. Well, the time variant is leading to King the Conqueror, right?
Mm.
Falcon Winter Soldier was leading up to Captain America. I forgot. I know they changed it. Was it New World Order still?
Order, yeah.
Yeah. Miss Marvel is leading up to the Marvels. Where is this leading to?
Right, where is this leading to? So like, I also at one point, like, I thought maybe it's going to lead into the Marvels, but it doesn't necessarily give us that. And then I thought maybe it's going to lead into Armor Wars, but now the only thing I could, like, this is all speculation at this point, because now Rhodey, the real Rhodey's back. Maybe the Skrull Rhodey did some fuckery with Stark Enterprises, and like, especially like his armors and stuff like that. Maybe he sold, maybe he had something to do with like armors getting out there. I don't know, but none of this got set up. Nothing was pointing towards like Armor Wars at all. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, maybe it's leading into Secret Wars, but that we don't know. Like,
It's going to be a
there's
while.
nothing.
Like, they don't seem to be setting any of that up.
No, not yet.
But so again, story and plot line aside, the show looks absolutely amazing. And then like, we had this huge fight at the end. And at first we were thinking it was going to be Fury versus Gravik, but it turns out, spoilers, it was just Gaia disguised as Fury. She was basically trying to throw Gravik off. they both end up getting all the DNA from all the Avengers, and then just have a shape shifting fight. Uh,
Basically.
a lot of it looks really cool. Getting to see them use the different powers and basically like just morphing into different peoples, or at least parts of them into different people, or showing off that power. But there is one scene in this show that I threw my hands up in the air and said, "Oh, excuse me, fuck you, Marvel." I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" And it was this part right here. As soon as she got her powers, or she got the DNA of all the Avengers, she was shifting through her powers. She shifted into Drax's arm. She shifted into Drax's arm, tattoos and all, just to show us that she was about to use Drax's power, which is basically just super strength. What? Let's zoom in on this, dude. Look at this. This is Amelia Clark, right, with Drax's freaking arm. Bro. Of all the stuff that was happening in this show, and especially in this fight in general, it all looked pretty clean, awesome. You see like their arms shift to like rocks, like Korg, which kind of like hinted to me that like, oh, this is supposed to be like the Thing. You know, um, you saw like the ice, like them
Mm-hmm.
form like these ice like sabers, or like whatever to like impale with. That was really cool. Their arm shifted to when they go to stretch it out for like Groot. The extremis was like on full display. At one point, like she was even running and turning invisible because she had Ghost's powers. Like that was all cool. But then you get to this. Are you kidding me? Like I don't like what? How does that make any sense?
Oh my God. I didn't forget about that part. I was trying to forget about that part though. I
Like,
watched the fight. Oh, all right, this is cool. She got the first giant, you got the little ice power. Cool. I completely forgot about that part. This part here.
dude, oh my god. I audibly like I remember I paused it. I took that picture and sent it to you because I was just like, get bent. Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I was just like, oh, get out. Get right out. But all that aside, the final fight was pretty cool because then so we one of the things that we learned, and I wrote this down, give me a second to find it. There was so many freaking like DNA samples that they had, and
Mm-hmm.
some of which I was unsure how they got, because they said that they got this, the harvest was from the battle at the end of Endgame, right?
Yeah.
But like, so we've got DNA samples from Ghost, Captain America, Corvus Glaive, and Outrider, which is like those beasts or whatever that they were using at the beginning of the fight in Wakanda. Proxima Midnight, Captain Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
Abomination, uh, a Frost Beast, Ebony Maw, Korg, Drax, Cull Obsidian, Mantis, Hulk, Black Panther, a Chitauri, which is also part of Thanos' forces, Valkyrie, Gamora, Thor, Groot, Winter Soldier. Yeah, so it was all of those, right? Uh, some of the things that were some of the things that stood out to me was just like, how did they get Abomination's DNA sample, unless it was like not from the final battle, like because he was locked up, they probably have a DNA sample for him.
That's what I was thinking.
But it was the same thing with like Ghost. Like that was like kind of throwing me off. And who else? It was mostly those two, but like when they put their like it kind of threw me off because like they made it sound like all of these came from like the final battle type of stuff, aside from the ones that they already had.
No,
Like
I feel like
I mean, being those four or whatever, but like it was yeah, I was just interested. Like, how do you think they got those?
I feel like they collected those over time.
Probably right.
Yeah, like they had to collect those over time. There's no other explanation of how you got like certain ones, like you said, Abomination. Abomination's been in jail outside of his retreat, which you see in She-Hulk, but which is trash.
But that wasn't even part of like she wasn't you know,
she has nothing to do with
Endgame or anything like that. She hasn't been
yeah.
in the world until after that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. Like since he was captured, I think that's where they probably got his like their those samples, or like after those kind of battles, like collected samples from like each person. Like, all right, well, what can we do with these? And then we also got like those subtle hints of like certain other characters too, like you said, the Fantastic Four. But I don't think they can do anything with the Fantastic Four because they don't have they didn't have those type of rights yet. So my guess is like they collected those over time. Like that's something they got from like the movies later. Like I mean, they should have did a better explanation of saying it, like how they got each sample. But I know they were on a time restriction and how they were trying to push it.
Well, and so that kind of leads to another point of mine. It's just like I think that this show was a little rushed. Now, I'm in two camps on this, right? So like I either think that they should have given us more episodes and kind of tell the story like full out and like really fill it out and like give us more time with it, or like make it like a 10 episode series instead of cutting it off at 6. Give us 4 more episodes and we probably could have gotten like a much clearer and maybe even been able to give us that like intrigue of like who can we trust, you know?
Yep.
Or turn this into a movie, you know? You want it to go at a certain pace, cut out some of the stuff, turn this into a movie, cut out some of the stuff, but give us enough to make the movie make sense. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So like it should have been one of those two. Like it's either you want it to like be quick, but also give us like enough information to realize like, hey, this is what's happening, and this is going to be something that has wider ramifications within the wider MCU,
which it will be,
right? Which is supposed to, but we don't know because it doesn't seem to connect to anything. Or give us more time with it. Just give us more time with it. Give us 10 episodes, and that way we can understand where this is going. That was the other thing too. Like at the end of it, when Gaia and I think her name was Sonia, the British operative, when they linked up or whatever, they went into a basement and saw some people in pods, but they weren't scroll pods, were they? Or were they scroll pods, you think?
Good question. I don't know. I was assuming they were probably scroll pods. They had to be scroll pods. You see that? I don't know. That's a good question. It's either we're going to see scroll pods or creep pods because it had to be something.
Right.
Like there has to be some kind of backstory. And I don't want to say backstory. That's like you said, leading up to it. So I think that's probably something that's probably. No, it's not. I was gonna say probably like the Thunderbolts, but it's not.
No, because I think Thunderbolts is gonna. It has something to do with other stuff. I think because from what the reports are saying, it kind of seems like Thunderbolts are gonna have to do with. Oh wait, no. I take that back. Because that's Captain America. That's supposed to deal with like the leader.
Oh, the Thunderbolts.
Like and probably parts of the Thunderbolts, but like. So I'm wondering, maybe who knows? Maybe it might tie into Thunderbolts. But again, we have no clear indication because they didn't give it to us. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I gotta watch the ending again because I didn't remember seeing that part of the ending. I know it's like she said you're being recruited, and then there was nothing. I kind of stopped paying attention. It was like, oh, you're gonna be recruited, and she's like, no, I don't want to. Like, oh, no, you don't have a choice. So that's
Yeah.
when I kind of like, yeah, all right, whatever.
I'll have to rewatch it and see too, because like I want
Same.
to like look and see if I could kind of tell. But we'll talk about it later. But um, I mean, you want to put a bow on this thing and like we talk about Superman and then get out of here.
Yeah. So I think we last left off at Superman. This nice little cliffhanger. Um,
Yes.
Another spoiler alert, by the
Spoilers.
way.
Yeah,
So if you,
spoilers, guys, for My Adventures with Superman.
yeah, so if you haven't watched it, please click away. Please click away. So, spoiler: last time we saw, well, before this episode came out, we saw that Lois Lane figured out. She thinks she figured out who Superman is. So she finally drives it home. It's like, all right, well, you're not going to tell me who you are. I'm going to make you tell me who you are. And that is the most Lois Lane thing that I've ever seen.
Right.
So they did Lois Lane spot on. I don't care what nobody tell me. They did her spot on. Like
Right.
how she wants to get that story out, and she's going to do anything she can to get that story out. When she figured it out, she's going to show you that I figured this out. And her jumping off that roof, just like, yeah, no, I know you're going to rescue me because I know you're Superman. That was fire. I'm like, all right, like you got it, you got it. I'm
Right.
giving you a kudos. So, um, after that, I don't remember who the villain was in that episode because I was too busy focused on like, damn, like she's good.
Right. So I mean that for one, that happens at the end of the show or at the end of this episode. But like, so um, it sets it up early on where because she's like the whole like crux of the episode is just like I'm gonna get Clark to tell me that he's Superman.
Yep.
Like
So she kept
he's gonna admit
trying
it.
to find a way to put them together. Like in
Right.
the room, you're gonna tell me who you are. Like I know this is you. So
And like even at one point, like she goes up to the roof, I think, or either that or like I think Superman takes her to the roof of the Daily Planet or something, and something's going down. Superman hears it and it's just like I have to go. Somebody's in trouble, and she's just like Superman, be careful, be safe. Like she's yelling after him, and then she's just like Superman, Clark, and like he just keeps on flying, and then eventually like we move forward with the story, and like he was fighting. Actually, it turns out that I mean there's more intergang people using tech.
yep.
Um, some of which are kind of insignificant. We don't really get to see much of them, but it's a group of them, and they end up like they're running away from something because they think it's Superman who's like taking them and that's like kidnapping them. But it's not. It turns out to be um, Slade. Turns out to be Deathstroke, which is really
Oh,
sick.
that's what it's supposed to be. I would see. I gotta watch. I gotta rewatch it again because
Oh yeah, dude. They flat out say his name. They say well they called him Agent Wilson.
okay. See, all right. I might have been. I don't know. If I think I was watching something else, and then I thought I saw Amanda Waller. Am I going crazy?
No, she was in it. So like
Okay. All
towards the
right.
end. Towards the end. So uh, at at one point, Superman finds these intergang people. One of like most of them run away. One of whom like sticks around is like starting to try and fight Superman. And at this point, that's when Lois locks
Handcuffs
herself
him.
to Superman, right?
That shit was
Uh,
funny.
and so like for one, this villain turns out to be Heatwave, which is kind of interesting. Uh, Interesting redesign. Was never really a Superman villain, so I don't know why he's in. Why?
Yeah,
Well,
he's a Flash
she
villain, by the
rather
way.
is
Oh
in
yeah,
this. Why she is in this. Um,
yeah. So quick
but
backstory. That's Heatwave belongs to the Rogue Gallery of the Flash. Keep going.
yeah, that's right. So, but she's in here now, fighting Superman, trying to hit him with his heat blast or with her heat blast, and then like is running away from him and stuff, right? It's at that point that's when Superman takes Lois to the Daily Planet building and drops her off because he's like I can't do this with with you
With
right
you being
now.
in there, because basically you're gonna be in the way, and if something can happen to you, he doesn't want nothing to happen to her.
Right, exactly. And
Yeah.
then he just like snaps the the handcuff off and then like goes off, to fight the villain and stuff. And it turns out that like who was originally kidnapping and taking this person's like uh, group was Slade Wilson. They're calling him Agent Wilson in this, but if any of you know, Agent Wilson, Agent Slade Wilson, is Deathstroke Terminator, which we get like him in like this armor that's also using this technology, has like a similar colored helmet on, and even like when he doesn't have the helmet on, they have his hair swept into his eye, so it's always covering one eye.
Okay, I'm definitely going to go back to watch. I think it's episode 2 when he came
That's
in
when
the
he
lot. Was
shows
it
up.
Livewire when he's
Hmm.
introducing himself to Livewire? Okay, that makes sense. All right, yep, definitely going to watch a little bit more.
But yeah, so then it was really cool because then he starts getting the holograms of one. It just says the general is somebody named the general, and then the other one was Amanda Waller. So they're just like talking to him and giving him orders and stuff this whole time. Um, I think that I want to say that general is probably General Eiling. Do you remember General Eiling from I think it was JLU?
I believe so. I have to. Sounds familiar.
So it was at one point. There was at one point when Cadmus was like the bigger threat in JLU. Amanda Waller was working with a general in from the army. His name was General Eiling. At
Okay.
one point, he injects himself with some metahuman DNA or whatever, some serum, and
Mm-hmm.
becomes that big, basically like Hulk-looking monster with like the tusks for teeth,
Yep.
and goes to like fight the superheroes at a parade, and ends up basically doing so much harm and stuff, right? And then they like that's when they flip it around. It's just like, who's the monster here? You're the one who's like hurting people, and none of us have superpowers. So
Okay.
like,
I remember.
so I'm wondering if maybe that's who that's supposed to be. If the general is supposed to be him.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously we've got Amanda Waller. So like now I'm starting to see like some Project Cadmus stuff going on here.
Same.
Um, and then they also kind of hint to where this technology is coming from. You caught that?
Yep. It's coming from. Oh my God. Krypton. Like all like bits and
Right.
pieces came from Krypton, and they just figure out how to put it together.
Right. It's either that or like maybe some of it came from like the ship itself. Maybe some of it fell off of the ship like
That's what I
before it
meant.
crashed.
Mm-hmm.
Who
Like
knows? I like
yeah, when it hit the atmosphere, it kind of like split, and then it just fell. So like the ship fell in Kansas, and the other parts fell somewhere else.
right. And I mean, I'd be interested to see like exactly if that's like what it is because at one point Clark was just like
Yeah, the flashback.
something about this like seems very familiar.
Yeah, then when he touched it, that's when he had the flashback to see.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
What it actually was.
I can't wait for next week. Yeah, they're like this is really good. Like I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Right. Same. Like again, neither one of us are huge Superman fans, and for us to like be religiously watching a
A
Superman
Superman show.
cartoon is just like, okay, it's pretty good,
Yeah.
especially because it's got like a lot of anime stuff in it. Oh man, that reminds me. At one point, Heat Wave turns up the heat, like goes from doing just normal like fire blast to like condensing it into like the blue fire,
Mm-hmm.
like and like I was just like, yo, that is pretty sick. It
Yeah. No,
reminded me
man.
of like Avatar. It reminded me of like Fire Force. It was pretty sick.
Yeah, no, that like it's getting like like each episode gets better. It's not like it's like, oh no, this episode was good. Next one's okay. No, each episode of this show it gets better and better. So that
Right.
definitely shows like they're putting some real work and promise into the show. Like it's a must watch, Superman fan or not.
Yeah, dude. And I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and I can't wait for next week's episode because
Same.
yeah. And I mean, I really hope that like that this is something like it continues on. I mean, if we get one really good season of this, then I'd be happy. But like, if
I'll take
this
it.
like Right, I'll take it. But like, if they end up making more of this, like, I would really like to see more.
I'm
Maybe they
glued.
build the
Yeah,
world out with like some super like other superheroes. You know?
I'm hoping so. Like it's nice because like I don't know if y'all know, but like superhero girls, I only watch it because my daughter watches it, but um, it's actually not bad. They have like it's really based on like Jessica Cruz, Batgirl, Zatanna, Supergirl, and Wonder Woman.
Hmm.
And then you get later on you get Katana. But the guys like the guys you're seeing it, they got like Green Arrow, and it looks very kind of similar, but not the same. But then the guys you get
Okay.
like Green Arrow, Hal Jordan, Flash, and they violated Garth Aqualad. They made him some fat little kid.
Oh boy.
It's hilariously funny that they made him the fat little kid. It's like, yo, you really could have did better with him, but um it feels like it could be something based off of that, but it's not. But it's actually pretty good. So I definitely would say, if you ever get a chance, definitely watch this Superman show. We lost him, but it's all right. So
No, you didn't lose me.
welcome back. I had
I'm
this
just giving
the
you, I was
soliloquy.
giving you a solo, bro, so that you could talk, talk your shit,
I,
bro.
I,
But
I, thought, I thought we lost you for a second.
no, no,
But
no,
yeah,
no.
no, it's definitely worth the watch. I would say when you get a chance, definitely tune in or start from the beginning. Actually, if you have not watched it yet, definitely watch Superman. The new adventure was it? What the new Adventures of Superman? That's what it's called.
No, it's called My Adventures with Superman.
Yeah, definitely watch it. I'm really hoping it leads to something else. Like we get something of like uh something like Spider-Man. I said Spider-Man. Green Arrow, or I don't know. I'm just gonna throw another character like B-lister. Um,
Plastic
so,
Man.
you know what? I would Elongated Man, Plastic Man. I would watch it.
No, if I would be thoroughly chuffed if like Plastic Man shows up in this show.
Me too.
But I want to see him like actually with powers, not like using the tech or whatever. Like, I want to see him like actually do some stuff. He'd be pretty,
Same. That's
pretty neat.
that's what I was. Oh, even throwing Ted Cord Blue Beetle, I'll even watch it
Hey,
then too.
speaking of which, I mean, this is going to be coming in a future video possibly, but like, oh, you can't see it. Oh no, my background. Never mind.
Is that Blue
It's a
Beetle?
it's a blue beetle. Yeah, it's a Ted Cord blue beetle that I just got. So it just came in today.
Oh, damn, that's funny.
So
I didn't even know you got that, but I was just thinking about that because like it'd be cool to see like a Ted Cord Blue Beetle in the show or something, or if they made a show about Ted Cord Blue Beetle, or even a cartoon Blue Beetle that goes from Ted Cord up into Jaime Reyes.
yeah, that'd be so sick.
I
That would
know,
be
I
so sick.
know. I would actually watch that too, and I'm not a big Blue Beetle fan, but I would definitely watch that.
Yeah, dude, that would be really sick. Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm thoroughly enjoying the show. He's thoroughly enjoying the show. You guys should check it out. It's on Max. It airs live on Adult
Thursday,
Swim.
12.
Yeah,
Oh yes,
Thursday at,
yes.
well, technically Friday at 12 at midnight on Adult Swim, and then is released on Friday for on Max. But like, I believe there's 5 episodes out right now, if I'm not mistaken, or is it 6 at this point? No, it's
Might
5.
be 5. Yeah.
But yeah, it's really good. You guys should check it out. Um, but anything else today, man?
Hey, look, that's all as of right now. Just tune in.
Yeah. So thanks for being here with us today, folks. That's all we've got for today. All of our reviews, all of our news. Tune in next week. We'll talk about some more nerd news, whatever pops up throughout the week. We'll be going into. There's no more Secret Invasion, so we won't be talking about that. But we'll be back with My Adventures with Superman. Maybe talk a little bit about Harley Quinn. He's not gonna like it because he's not a Star Trek fan. I'm a huge Star Trek fan, so I'll probably start talking about some Strange New Worlds. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, we also had Twisted Metal as well. Which I haven't finished it yet, but I'm definitely gonna give you my review on it once I finish it. I got like a few more episodes. It's 10 episodes, like I said. I think I said this last week as well. 10 episodes. And as of right now, it's not bad. That's all I'm gonna give you until I watch the whole thing.
Well, that's all we got for today, folks. But join us again next time. We'll talk to you soon. Peace. Class
Later.
dismissed.